Hi, we got another review going on today. It's been a couple days, but I wanted to, like I said, just upload when I want to. And the other night I watched the film Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I haven't stopped thinking about it. This is one of the most perfect, beautiful films I've ever seen. It was written and directed by Celine Sciamma. It stars Nomi Merlan and Adele Haino, and then also a couple other people, but those are the two leads. And it takes place in 18th century France. An artist named Marianne is commissioned to do a portrait of a bride uh, named Eloise, but she is commissioned to do so without Eloise knowing. And throughout these various days and weeks of them kind of Marianne has to just go on walks with her and become her friend, and has to kind of memorize her face and all these sorts of things. They were close together, and a romance blossoms between these two women, and it's beautiful. I I truly don't I don't think I've ever seen a film as beautiful as this. Between the cinematography, the beautiful direction, just the I love the dialogue. I cannot get over how simple and just perfect the dialogue is. Just there's so many just beautiful moments of silence that I think, because this is a French film, it's all in French. And I think an American film, they don't allow for these beautiful moments of silence, and they let these our characters sit in the moment and be uncomfortable sometimes, and you kind of see the awkwardness of a blossoming romance of two people who kind of are obviously liking each other, but they can't. It's a forbidden romance, not only because of it's two women, but also uh, Eloise is she's supposed to be married soon, and it's I think it's one of the most important films I've seen in such a long time. It's so just stripped back and natural that it feels like you're a fly on the wall. You've time traveled back, and you get to see these two amazing women just blossom into this beautiful romance. There's so many amazing lines. I just pulled up the IMDb page for the quotes just because I wanted to talk about this in my review. There's a moment, it's very early on in the film, where Eloise and Marianne are are going on their first walk together, and Eloise starts running, and I think she starts running and she goes almost off to this cliff. She says, "I've dreamt of that for years." And then Marianne goes, "Dying?" And Eloise just responds, "Running." And it perfectly, because up until this point, this is really our first bits of dialogue we get with Eloise, and it's such a perfect introduction to this character. Excuse me. Um, it you immediately you know that she wants to be a free spirit, but she is held back due to her position in life. She has to know her place and this whatnot. And I can't go over just how well shot this movie is. I immediately, after I finished the film, there's the iconic, it's the poster, but it's the picture of Heloise, and she's in this black dress. It's beautiful, and the bottom bit is on fire, and that shot is so beautiful because it's mentioned later on, and that's kind of the moment. And that scene at this feast is perfect. The sound and the music, especially in that scene where it kind of breaks down to this like a cappella moment, it's really beautiful. One thing I noticed was like I'm not before say this isn't a complaint whatsoever, but the lack of men in this movie is refreshing. You see, there's like a couple men in the beginning of the movie, and then there's one in like the last 15 minutes, and that's it. It's really just these two women, the maid and Heloise's mother. Speaking of the maid, I forgot her name. I wrote it down. Oh, Sophie. Um, she is amazing. Everything they do with that character is really, really interesting, and it's just a really great story of just women supporting women. And I love this movie and how it makes you feel. When I was decided I wanted to make a review for this movie, because normally I just kind of like to sit with more than a couple days, because I've only seen this, I saw this movie 2 days ago. I decided I wanted to review this movie. I had a hard time summarizing my feelings and kind of, coming up with what I wanted to say. Because I love this movie. It's I can't think of a flaw in this movie. I think it's a perfect film. I was scrolling through the IMDb page, kind of just trying to find some inspiration or ways that I can, talking points maybe. I came across a user review by this user JCC_Murray, and it's simply titled "Achingly Beautiful." And that really made me think of just that's what this film is. It is achingly beautiful. It hurts of just how it's it hurts to watch. It's not uncomfortable. It's not like an uncomfortable movie, or it's not like it's sad, but it's like not sad. That makes sense. It had me in tears for like emotional, like relating, or you feel for these characters. It's not. It's almost a happy ending, but it's also very much not. It transcends just. I feel like a lot of LGBT movies kind of get written off as LGBT movies. Brokeback Mountain, Love, Simon, like Blue is the Warmest Color. I think I haven't seen it, but these films are like, oh yeah, these are LGBT. Why not just watch these? I think this transcends being LGBT. It's just a beautiful story of love, desire, and it's a longing to fit in. These two women, they find each other within. They find themselves within each other. I am in love with this film. I give it an A+, a 10 out of 10, whatever rating. I forgot to pull up where I ranked this on my Criterion collection, because this does make it into the Criterion collection, and it is high, very high. I'm trying to pull it up right now. So I'd like to. More than 200 films that I've decided to put on this list. I've decided to put it at number 8. Number 7, I have a Jojo Rabbit, and number 9 is Booksmart, also 2019 films. But I'm in love with this film. I think it's better than both of those films. I have a separate list for what I believe are the greatest films of all time, and I put it at number 3. I truly believe this to be one of the greatest films I've ever seen. It's perfect and beautiful, and I recommend it to anyone. It's a little slow, and I don't know if it is for everyone, but it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I hope you do get around to checking it out. If you want something to watch, or if you have any movies you want me to watch or review, let me know. I'll try to get around to it. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you around. Peace.